Experiences that preceded Uranus. Nasanu, the sound of creation and the dark souls. Nasanu, goddess Saraswati and the development of the Partsufam. The Hindu goddesses and the vision of Mary. The 72 angels and the 32 paths in Malkut. Hecate and Jesus. Opening the 32 paths at once. Movement on the tree of life. Leader angels and the worlds. Angels 1, 2, and 3 repeatedly. Binah's action in Yesod. Archangel Michael, magnificent. Union of seals of 32 paths with the 72 Kabbalistic angels. Angels 1, 2, 3, and Binah in Yesod. The vessels and our ancestry. The 32 paths, the 72 angels, and the man's primordial DNA. Archangel Michael, preparing a path. Leader angels 1, 2, 3, and the end of suffering of Adam Superior. Spiral DNA of the 72 angels. Angels, full of energy. Spheres of the spheres. Primordial model. A knot from Netzacha to Had. Leaders empowered angels in Binah. Adam and the Archangel Michael. The paradise. DNA restoration and the roller coaster. Uranus. Uranus, authority over the gods. Perception of Adam, between us and the Creator. The Father. Influence of the Father. Benignity of the Father. The drama of creation, fall and redemption, according to Isaac Luria. The vibrational water in the body. First testimony. Second statement. Third testimony. Fourth statement. The vibrational water of the sixth sphere. Balancing the tree of life paths. Testimony 1. The water of the Garden of Eden. The sword and the conquest of the Eden's garden. Tetraedro. The initiation's water. Invocation of the 72 angels in the paths. Finding the Eden's garden on the tree of life. Uranus, Eros and Aphrodite on path 20 in Chesed. Uranus, Gaia and the sword of conquest. Complete Uranus in his 10 spheres. The tree of knowledge of good and evil. The tree of knowledge of good and evil complete. Water of the Garden of Eden. Garden of Eden's water, second time. The conquest of the Eden's garden. Path of manifestation. Level 3 in the Zohar's paths. The being of Kether and the concept of Or Hakma. The end of the regeneration period. The formation of Adam. The macro influences the micro. Microprosopis and man are in him. The macro's forehead and the judgments. Influence on man. Bereshit, creating the skull and the microprosopis. Microprosopis brain expansion. Microprosopis body formation. The man. Peace in the union of the masculine and feminine. 72 angels. Uranus, the 72 angels and the 32 paths. 72 angels and the 32 paths. Goddess Durga, 72 angels, 32 paths. 72 angels, 32 paths, and the goddess Hera. Nature's beings, and the 72 angels. Level 2, waters with 72 angels, and the water of life and health through Adam and Eve. 72 angels in the 32 paths. Second experimentation of water life and health through Adam and Eve. Third level leader angels. Angel Mihail, the angel of conciliation. My second impression. Conciliation of Chakma and Binah. Conciliation of Chesed and Geburah. conciliation of Netsacha and Hod, appeasing judgments throughout our tree, union of the three pairs of parents, and the descent of the car. Level 4, climbing the ladder straight to the Creator. The rose and the cross, clearing judgments with Adam and Eve, Zeus and Hera, hair curls, magnificent Eve, tetragrammaton, releasing the screen. Bibliography. How can you bring the benefits of the company of the Greek gods and angels into your life? Preface. In this book, we will go a little deeper. Before I knew God or Uranus, as a preparation with Adam's company, I performed many meditations. So when Uranus appeared, I was more prepared to receive him. Various vehicles were used to guard the vibrations of the beings who presented themselves to me in the practice of active imagination. Water, creams, paper with drawings, among others. Knowing Adam was essential to being able to understand the relationship we have with him and how he could help us. Gathering the vibration of Adam with Ein Sof, or Eros and Uranus, generates incredible help to us, for we are considered more deserving of the Father. The Father recognizes us better if we are vibrating as his Son, since our spiritual model is Adam. In the practice of active imagination, we do not have to choose a pantheon, since the gods have their faces in many cultures, and through active imagination, this can be clarified. So this book compares the theogony of Hesiod with Kabbalah, for in meditation a great resemblance was perceived. And in this way, the meditations could be compared to the Zohar and the Sefer Yetzirah. The use of water brings a more facilitated way to use these divine vibrations in our lives and to advance in our self-knowledge, in the knowledge of the dimensions we have, in the divine dimensions, and in our evolution. Knowing our ways, how they work, what is involved in the company of the deities, is an experience that already lasts 20 years for me. I have always realized art, together with the practice of the active imagination, and this makes the art produced in that moment, is full of divine vibrations from the beings that I dialogue with. The waters are a continuation of this process that culminates in the application of these vibrations in our body. The dialectic between good and evil is put in an extremely deep way, always through the use of the waters, and many meditations show different ways of dealing with this question. The reconciliation of opposites is treated with reverence and worthiness, always thinking that we have more quality of life. The use of water and the reading these books that came from the collective unconscious brings us a unique opportunity to treat our way of creating our life, reconnecting our being with the tetragrammaton, i.e., father, mother, son, and daughter. Experiences that preceded Uranus. Nasanu, the sound of creation and the dark souls. Nasanu brings the sound of creation, accompanied by the Trinity that can command any meditation, protecting us in the ways and accelerating the evolutionary processes. With this vibration, I made many soul transformations. Nasanu, Goddess Saraswati, and the development of the Partsufam. I saw myself holding a staff and knocking it to the ground 10 times. In meditation, only white lotus flowers appeared as a development of the vessels. The Hindu goddesses were there. When development occurs, it means that the situation has evolved to resolve itself a bit more. With Lakshmi, white, red, and pink lotus flowers appear. Then I saw myself over the flowers, along with several people of my relationships and future relationships. The issue of not suffering any more ancestral influences was seen, along with the sight of my family also sitting on white lotus flowers. Just as the use of the Durga goddess cream causes the flowers or Partsufam using a deep Kabbalistic language to slip more easily into the next step's evolution. The goddess Saraswati also does so. I feel as if the development of the Partsufam was being lubricated, since they always come from within its predecessor or previous. Another movement that I noticed is to shake the whole house, among other places I saw, as if it were breaking dimensions, splitting, to facilitate the appearance of changes, giving rise to new things, taking the strength of change and against stagnation of ideas, situations, and thoughts. Before I began to beat the staff with her, she asked me if I really wanted to do such things, because if I did not want to, I could not back down. I asked to continue. The feeling was that reality would certainly change, and the process began. Then I had a vision that we were all going up, hitchhiking with the White Lotus. Then we came to the cosmos. It is very easy for the goddess Saraswati to make us ascend. The Hindu goddesses and the vision of Mary. At night I was lying down when I saw Mary on the side of my bed. A woman with a blue and white robe, fair skin, a very friendly expression, and incredible evolution. Her vibration is sensational. Much peace and tenderness. It is hard to imagine that we deserve such a presence. It is a gift to see her on this day. She always guides us in our lives and takes care of us. The 72 angels and the 32 paths in Malkut. I received guidance from Upper Adam to gather the cards of the leading angels and the ways. I perceived as if all the imbalance of my life could be solved, uniting in me, in my world, the strength of the angels and the ways. I went to sleep, and these vibrations invaded my whole house. My thoughts were that suffering, sickness, poverty, and no difficulty were necessary. The development to acquire the attributes that I need begins to happen. Hecate and Jesus. With the union of the vibrations of these beings was created a golden sphere that expanded by the house. When I lay down to sleep, I could feel the very intense effects reaching me in my room. Many earthly things are stirred in great depth by Jesus and Hecate. I see that they make a kind of glue between the sky and the earth, connecting them, gluing them. Very interesting, this image. They bring the spirit world into matter, opening the 32 paths at once. I put the seals of the 32 paths in the shape of the tree of life on the table. They are very strong in the physical body and the whole house. It is as if the paths were traced over the tree and open. When the gods inhabit them, everything is different, but we do not feel that fluency that is felt when the seals of the 32 paths are stacked or the 72 angels stacked. A caregiver has been placed in every dimension of our being, and these dimensions evolve greatly. Movement on the tree of life. I see a very strong pressure in the bottom triangle of my tree. There is an instability, and Malkut feels the pressure and starts to crack. The feeling is that Malkut grew and Yesod created responsibility. The ancestors created more conscious and stopped interfering negatively, evolving as well, and Malkut supports this larger movement in life. There is stubbornness in not wanting to give in to the changes, and I see my face in Malkut wanting to crack. Tifereth sends a lot of energy down. All the spheres evolve, collaborate, stop fighting. Tifereth multiplies and engages in Yesod and Malkut, trying to relate to Doth and Doth with Kether. Doth manages to create relations with Binah, Chakma, Geburah, and Chesed, creating subtle ties, arriving slowly in them, by roots that already were created by Zeus, receiving command of Kether. Tifereth is very happy about this. Yesod is very happy. Had and Netzachah are happy with each other, and this greatly influences Yesod, and Malkut is very happy and fulfilled. I see my face there. I still have that star of rubber as protection. I start building trust in my tree, and I am eliminating that protection. The whole tree is very happy. Kether is always the same, like a calm and serene lake. The sense of accomplishment is very great. Bina and Chakma are happy, but they do not care much about it. The first triangle is quiet and does not negatively influence the spheres below. The others are ecstatic. I see myself in Malkut smiling and very accomplished. I visualize my projects developing. If you want to know more about it, you will like the ebook and paper book on Google Play and on Amazon.